you're gonna say like, where is the Leica Q2? Where is the camera you're gonna review? And this is the beauty about this video. I don't need to have the Leica Q2 to tell you all about it, because this is what is gonna be a bit more legit and unique. Now you're gonna say like, how can I take your advice seriously? This is what I'm trying to say. As a professional photographer, sometimes when you take an advice from a professional photographer who's working day and night and doing it for a living, actually, his opinion or her opinion may make a difference without actually reviewing the camera. Especially, there's not a lot to talk about, let's put it this way. Anyways, I don't want to say I'm late in the game or something like that. I just came back from my trip, and I saw there is a lot of reviews about the Leica Q2. I wrote to some of my friends at the Leica headquarters and some people. We are just communicating because it's already going to be the weekend, so I'm waiting for the reply, so maybe I can test drive it and see what is it all about. But the Leica Q dealer here, the Leica dealer doesn't have it in stock already. But I'm talking to Germany, so we're gonna come up with something because we're friends, they know me already there. You can see, I'm not doing anything for, I'm not doing these reviews for a living. I'm not making any money of any of these, what I'm gonna say. So take it from a professional photographer that this review kind of advice, it's gonna make a bit of a difference in the whole YouTube like videos. Some people predict, like they start doing the website comparison and tell you this is how it's gonna be and this is what I think, but take it like this. I shot with the Q, the Leica Q, the original Leica Q, and not the Leica QP, that because the only thing between the Q and the QP is just a design wise, but it's the same camera. The Leica Q, I shot with it maybe six, seven editorials, fashion editorials, been in magazines, been in my website, online magazine website as well. So it's been published and it was amazing. So shooting with the Q, it's amazing. And I said it in my previous videos. I love this camera so much that I really want to buy one. Now, I still didn't buy one anyway, but it's in my list. I really need to own the Leica Q. It's a must. Now, the thing now, when I saw the Leica Q came out or read about it in the airport, I said like, okay, it's like a small improvement here and there to make it a bit better. Now, you're gonna say like, okay, I don't understand what you say. So we all read this information. A lot of people elaborate about the Leica Q2 and what is my opinion about it. Coming from shooting with the Leica Q with fashion editorials, I love the results, I love the amazing quality. And why I'm saying this, because the sensor and the quality of the Leica Q is copy-paste from the Leica SL beside the lens-wise. So you have the same feel, you have the same vibe of the SL. Now, with this amazing SL that I'm shooting with it right now, the only thing I don't want to say 100%, but the separation between the SL and the Q is the lens. Not because it's removable, because of the technique of the lens, the elements and the quality of the glass. They're both excellent quality, but the way things renders, this is what makes this different than the other. And of course, you know, the mount and all these things. So what I'm trying to say is the Leica Q2 have, as we all know, 47 megapixel. The sensor is like, you know, it's larger with the megapixel amount. I don't want to say this is like the megapixel race, like, you know, it got weather sealed in a way that you can be worry free that if it's going to be dust or rain or snow, so you're going to be okay not to wipe it right away, so you can actually relax about it. You can actually now attach the SL battery inside if you own an SL system. So basically it takes SL batteries and they're more expensive, but they're really good. because it lasts really long time in my SL. So imagine the Q2 got less power hungry engines, so you will be fine for the day or the maybe days. It depends on how you use it. It got 4K cinematic mode, which is the SL excels amazingly. You can see my skin tone, you can see the details. I don't want to say it's crisp sharp, but I want to say that it's a real cinematic mode, and it got the 4K 24 and 30. And the reason I'm not attaching an external recorder, because I want to keep the quality of the 24 frames per second for the cinematic kind of look. It comes from the Leica SL, and this is what makes me so much attached to this camera from the quality, from the video quality wise. Apart of that, that's it, really. You got not the cropping mode, but you know, you can actually zoom in a digital way that you can. It's 28 millimeter lens, which is amazing anyway. You can go to 35, 50 and 75, which is also amazing. So it gives you, listen, if you're smart enough, you already know how to crop your image right away. But this is a push for you to say, it's there for you. You know, it's like when someone say like, everybody knows how to do these things, but when someone actually put it there for you, it's like, oh, I already know it, but because it's already there, I will do it. So it's the same technique and philosophy Leica uses in the Leica Q and the Leica Q2, that we know you crop your image if you want to zoom in or you want to adjust it in a certain way, but let me remind you that you can do 35, 50 and 75, and this is what pushed the kind of philosophy of you can use this camera a bit more wiser than just the 28, because everybody's complaining and whining about why this lens is not like 35 or 50, because again, people will always complain and nobody will be ever satisfied. Name me one person is satisfied with his camera. Zero. I mean, I don't want to say I'm satisfied with my SL, absolutely I am, but there's always a room to say that maybe we can adjust this, maybe we can do that, you know. But for my needs, I have no complaints, let's put it this way. That's pretty much about it. Now people are gonna ask, do I need to upgrade? Listen, the Leica Q got the 24 megapixel sensor, and it's amazing, and people are not gonna go above that. People don't need 50 megapixel. Maybe Leica is gonna hate me when I say these things, because you know, at the end everybody's open for business, right? But I want to give you another advice, that if you still didn't buy the Q, like my situation, and you are really not waiting for the best, but you're waiting to buy a Q, and you're waiting for the right moment, this is the moment to buy the Q2. Now you're gonna say like, but maybe I don't need this. I don't care about the megapixel. Go for the Q, man, really, because the Q is selling amazingly. You can find it everywhere. I don't want to say you're gonna find it super cheap, but still hold its value, and you will be fine with the Q or the Q2. Now, I'm against the philosophy of Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3, the version 1, version 2, version 3. Hopefully this is not going to be with the SL, because there's no need for SL2, but this video is not about the SL. But all I want to say that there's no need for version number 2 with the small adjustments. You can redesign it, you can make it cool, you can make cool accessories for it, you can add on to it, but changing the whole system, I don't want to say you're making the older version bad, but at the same time, people are just buying a good product already. So when you do sometimes version 1 and 2 and 3, you confuse people, and they may hate you, they may love you, but at the same time, it's already selling good. Why do I need to do it? Even though after all these years, people still demand it. And you can see Leica Q, Leica company, is making the Q, the QP. They're making different versions and editions. And people love to collect these things because it's still not, it's holding its value, because it's already in, what's inside it matters. And what's inside, it's amazing. So the only thing they're playing is the cosmetics. Now, with the Leica Q2, it's still the same in a way. like everybody's shooting and showing it on video. I mean, to be honest, I don't think you will ever notice what's the difference, to be honest. Let's be honest. You're not gonna know the difference between, if I put you like two images or delusion you with 4 images, you're not gonna know which one's the Q and which one is the Q2. Absolutely not. So you can see that it's all about be convinced with your quality and be convinced with your skills and be convinced that you can deliver a good image, not with any camera. With the camera you really wanted to buy. So whether you want to buy the Q or whether you want to buy the Q2, you still have to talk to yourself about it and say like, I love this camera, I want to buy it, and I know what I want from this camera. This is when you say, okay, either it's worth it to buy the Q2 or you stay with your own Q, or if you are willing to pay the price for the new Q2, then just buy the new Q2. Because if you are with the Leica family, you will have a lot of benefits because, for example, like me, I can use the SL batteries to my Q2, for example. So hopefully when I buy it and everything is okay, I will share the batteries, which is amazing. I want to do unboxing for the Q2. I will talk to them and I will see what's up and I will make a video about it. But for now, as a personal advice from a fashion photographer, use the Q, normal Q. It's still an amazing camera. And I only can imagine the Q2 is also amazing. But will you see a huge difference? I'm not sure. I don't want to speak on your behalf. Do you need the 4K video in case you want to shoot video? Then you have to go with the Q2. Let's be honest. Because the Q have amazing full HD. It's still amazing because you have to understand it's all about the lens and the sensor and everything combined together after what the lens sees. This is why the SL is amazing. And when I shot the SL with the Q video, I did the video on the Q full HD. And I combine it with the SL video, they were talking very smoothly together. Like when I merged the two videos together, dissolving it together, smooth, the same render, the same color. I don't need to worry about all these settings because it was amazing. And of course, Leica's always known with everything is minimalistic and right to the point, and they make less buttons in the Leica Q2. So you have a small touches. Of course, they have to make a small touches because they're redesigning the whole camera. So it's not really smart from any person to redesign a camera inside and not to make a small adjustment from the outside. This is obvious because they're already making a new body, a new battery component, a new SD card slot, all these things. So, bottom line, if you already have the Q, stay with the Q. If you already have the QP, it's a sick camera, look good. And if you are a person that you're waiting to buy the Q and you're lazy, you're waiting for something next to the block, or you didn't go and have the courage to buy the Q already because you cannot make your mind, now you have the Q2. Just go and buy it. And if you say, I'm okay, not with the megapixel, I'm not racing for the megapixel, I don't care about the video much, go with the Q. This is an honest opinion. This means, and you can see I'm not making anything from you, whether you buy this or that, whether you even buy the camera at all. But because I see so many people are going back and forth with their own opinions, and at the end, they don't really own the product, they don't know the product, and they shoot with it as a test and they print it back. But when I deliver real work with it, and I worked with it, and I know what is the camera all about, I'm talking about the Q, then there is not a lot of big difference between the Q and the Q2 because physically is the same. Regardless where the battery, if it's bigger or smaller, whether the SD is from the side or from the bottom, is the same. We have just different sensor with more megapixel sensor, 4K video. That's pretty much about it. I'm not gonna go with the weather sealed because nobody's gonna do it like, you know, the other cameras going inside the pool and take pictures. This is obvious, it's not gonna happen. Whether it's either weather sealed. So let's be logical about our conclusions and how we talk about cameras. That's pretty much about it. It's more or less the same. and you either can see the same price, more or less. It's not like a huge difference. And you can see the QP and the Q2, it's similar price, a little bit. That one you get 2 extra batteries, this one you get SL battery. Don't forget the SL battery is more expensive, but it delivers more lifetime for the camera itself. And it's nice that you're speaking the same language between the system itself, so you can relate to if you need to change and stuff like that. So you don't need to carry 2 chargers, you can carry sets of batteries, can combine it with the SL and the Q2, so you have a bit of flexibility. I still would love to own the Q or the Q2 in this case, because now it's more related to my work. I will talk to Leica to see how can we do unboxing and see what is it all about, and I will share it with you guys. And you can see I'm a legit person, legit photographer. I love my work a lot, and I travel a lot, and I always have my camera with me, and it's a very good feeling that you are attached to your gear in a good way, in a passionate way. And you can see, I don't want to say, people are now going to say I'm a fanboy and this and that. Let's get over it. But once you have a good product and you can advise people what to do, and if they think the same way as you do with your own camera and stuff like that, and you can help them make the final step and decision, this is called, it's a good community. And the camera companies will look up to us as legit people with a real opinion, not fake ones just to make kind of traffics and views. And I'm not against anybody, of course, let them have it, but they're doing it in a very commercial market, supermarket way, you know what I mean? It's nothing coming out really. They just love the camera. They just say, I don't want to return it back and all these things. But to be honest, free things nobody will say no to, right? And nobody gonna say like, if I give you like a free gear, you're gonna love to take it anyway, regardless if it's good or bad. So you can see what I mean. They always say, I don't want to return it back. It was a pleasure to use and this and that. But they're gonna say this next. So there's nothing real. And this is what I'm trying to say. When you hear something from a real photographer and someone in the industry, and there's someone just reviewing a unit, and I made a video about it, check it out. It's in my video. It says YouTubers are not speaking the truth about the cameras because they are just reviewing a unit, and you're gonna say the same thing, whether it's good or bad, about the next with the next camera. And this is when it's coming not a legit. Anyways, hopefully you enjoyed this review, kind of a thing that I don't own, but at the same time, you don't really need to own this camera to compare it with other cameras, or especially it's similar to the Q. And believe me, if you're waiting for the Q2, here you go, you already have it. Is it a major upgrade? Absolutely not. So Leica, don't hate me, I'm just doing it for your own sake, and I'm doing this for the reviewer's sake also. Don't sell your Q to buy a Q2. Even maybe this is not a good strategy as a market strategy, but at the same time it's good because you still buy the Qs, because the Q is still in stock and people have it, and the Leica dealers still have it. So whether you go with the Q or the Q2, Leica's happy and you're happy. And I'm happy if you tell me that you bought it because you really think that I give you an advice. Anyways, you can check all my work and my editorials and my campaigns at ramseyspencer.com, ramsino.com, and expertotv.com. Full editorials, full covers, full everything there, and you can enjoy it. And if you have any questions, please let me know. So many people still ask me about the SL. I will make another video because they have different questions all the time and comments, and sometimes they message me on my Instagram because all my communication is listed there, and they communicate with me with all kind of ways, which is I'm so happy. And thanks all of the photographers of the Leica guys, they are following me on Instagram. Thank you really so much. I appreciate it because we always talk about advices and gear. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I will be happy to answer it. So this is the real review about the Leica Q2 without the camera, because there is no need for the camera to be with me, because there is only 3 things are major different between this one and that one. I don't want to say because of the autofocus is super huge, because once you have it, you're gonna feel, okay, it's really fast, but fast when you compare it to another camera. But once you have it solo in your hand, you're gonna enjoy it, because either if you have the Q, you're gonna stay also it's fast. So faster, compare one-on-one, but it's fast already when it's on by its own, whether it's the Q or the Q2. So you will be happy if you buy the Q or the Q2. And don't worry, you're in a safe zone anyway with all these things. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.